Welcome to another exciting discussion. In this discussion, we will examine strategies for encouraging creativity, subtitled 7 Steps for Success. One might call this 7 possible views that will lead to success. But man, there is wisdom here about to be poured out upon you. First step that Bridges provides for us is that leaders have to set the example. You ever seen leaders say one thing and do another? Say, man, we're in hard times, and then they jump in the corporate jet and fly to Washington, while the rest of us are flying coach who are footing the bills for them? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Remember a number of years ago, I first came to Gordonville Baptist Church as pastor. I've been there a little over 16 years. And one of the first things I noticed when I drove up is right beside the door there was a sign that said Pastors Parking. Now, in this church, there were a lot of people. There are young people and there are old people. There are people that get around well. There are handicapped people. I didn't see a handicapped parking spot, so what I did is when I was after a week or two there, I took the sign down and put it behind the building. And I would park away from the building and walk over and save the parking for the old folks. Now, let me tell you what that is. That is leadership by example. We can't say to people, serve, 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 and not serve ourselves. We cannot talk to people about the difficulties of transition while we live high on the hog. Rhetoric is important. It's important that we say the right things, but it is much more important that we do the right things. Managers and workers must be in the same boat. If we don't set an example by our actions, no one's going to believe what our rhetoric says. We must also provide employees adequate time for reflection. You ever notice that it doesn't hurt to sit down every now and then, put your feet up in the easy chair, and just reflect upon what you've learned throughout the day? During time of difficulty and time of transition, there is always time for retreats, for brainstorming sessions, for reviews, surveys, suggestion campaigns. All of these are always in vogue while we're making our journey through the neutral zone. Communication, 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 reflection, reflection, and reflection are critical strategies for successful implementation of new ideas. Well, we just can't say enough about the importance of training. Even today, I sat in a training session. Some folks thought it was awful. Some of us thought it was good. Others of us didn't really care as long as we got a free sandwich. But you know, money's spent in professional development and money spent for training or money is well spent. Training is a godsend because often we think that people know how to deal with innovation and change and they know how to encourage discovery and all of these great things when in fact they don't. Folks are not prone to come in and sit down in your office and say, I need some help knowing how to promote the innovation and discovery. If they don't know, they become defensive and they cover it up. What we have to do is develop a planned program of professional development. Here in Texas A&M Commerce, I co-chair the Quality Enhancement Planning Committee. My greatest concern currently is that we allow adequate numbers of people to participate in professional development. By participation in professional development, we encourage the same vision, we see the same concerns, we hear the same words, and hopefully we will move in the same direction. Training is a godsend in establishing a consistency of vision, and which will in turn move us towards success. We have to encourage experimentation as well. We get what we encourage. We get what we reward. We don't get what we discourage, and we don't get what we stomp on and ridicule. A lot of times organizations say that they encourage experimentation, but if somebody makes a mistake, they crucify them, nail them to the wall, ridicule them, and subject them to public shame and humiliation. I hope you don't work for such an institution. But an organization that rewards creativity recognizes that the only people who fail are those that do something. And the acceptance of failure encourages experimentation. We get what we accept, and if we will reward folks for experimenting, even when they fail, it will lead to the culture which promotes greater experimentation. One of the things that Deming said to us as he laid the foundation of total quality management is that we have to accept failure. There will be losses and setbacks and mistakes and all of that, but the idea is that failure is acceptable if we learn from that failure and improve our operation. And by the way, if we build a culture that doesn't accept failure, all we're doing is promoting the status quo, and we're promoting lying and mistrust and all sorts of things, because if we punish people for making mistakes, they'll lie about them and cover them up. What we want to do is to learn from our mistakes so that we can grow and become better. We have to keep our eye out for opportunity as well. I'm of the mindset that we don't create opportunity, we avail ourselves of opportunity. Wise manager recognizes that windows open and windows close. And while those windows are open, we must know they're open and we must transition through them in a appropriate, timely fashion. If we don't watch out, the window will close and the opportunity will pass us by and be gone forever. Well, our attitude is to get out of the wilderness and out of the neutral zone as quick as we can, even if we have to leave a lot of people behind. Guys, not everybody travels at the same pace, and we have to pace ourselves. Getting in a hurry will do nothing but create more chaos and more uncertainty and more problems. Give people time to make the journey. I hope you've enjoyed these 7 strategies and that you will learn from them and apply them to your own management style.